What's happening, party people? This is Pete with BackDraft, and we're on the Scrambler 1200 XC. We're going to give you a little bit of a different type of ride review today, and what we're going to do is show you the capabilities of this bike off-road. Yes! So what I've done is I have put this baby into off-road pro mode, yes, and we are now going to explore what a $15,000 dirt bike will do. Doesn't this sound fun? Let's not crash. So we're not exactly going to be going like single track motocross Evel Knievel style. Yeehaw! But we are going to show you why this bike is so much fun to ride because of its versatility. We do have quite a bit of off-road style riding. Now, I have not dialed in the suspension at all on this. I was planning on going a little bit softer, maybe for the ride, and then dialing it back in a little bit harder, but I decided not to. I decided let's just leave it right like it came out of the box. Let's just see what happens. So that's where we're at. What we're going to do, we're on a dirt road similar to the one that I live on, which is, again, and if you've seen my other videos, you know I've talked about how fun it is to ride, but not being able to ride all the time in the beginnings on of a season because of the fact that the roads are so junky. And my Thruxty, it just didn't really like that mode. It didn't like sand on the roads or anything like that. So that was one of the things that really encouraged me to branch out and get back into like a dual sport adventure bike. So that's where we're at today, and this road is about to come to an end on the public side of things, which actually I think it did just a second ago, and it's sandy, chunky, and there is a little bit of trails that we'll do too, but I really don't want to break this bike because I don't have 500 miles on it yet. But this should give you a pretty good indication of what it can do. So I think there's a road right here. Let's take a look, shall we? So we're gonna go nice and easy. Can you imagine doing this on a normal motorcycle? No. Quite sandy and rocky. So this type of terrain here, we got a lot of exposed roots. It's pretty gnarly sand and the pine needles of death. Fatality. Again, on a normal motorcycle, no way. My Tiger I took down here a few times, but it was so big and bulky, it was just kind of cumbersome. This bike, the suspension just absolutely does not mind any of this. It actually is enjoying it. Yes! That off-road pro mode just deselects all of the traction control and ABS. It's awesome. Yarr. Really has no issues at all handling any of this stuff. It doesn't feel like I'm riding a motorcycle. It feels like I'm riding, actually reminiscent of my Honda 650R. All right, cool. Let's go down this way. Really, in first gear, it's not really for the woods. You're not going to want to go too much faster than this, even on a normal dirt bike. But the normal dirt bikes, obviously their gearing is going to be a little different. This is, you can go down the interstate with this bike, so of course the gearing is going to be, you know, a little bit better. It's all very soft sand. Something that a motorcycle is not made for, unless if you have the tri going to take the high road here. Which way you want to go? That way? Yeah! See this thing? Woo! Behaves just like a normal dirt bike. I love it. These potholes are pretty intense, and it just doesn't even blink an eye. Suspension soaks them right up. And it's got that traditional throttle feel you can just power through if you get into the hot stuff. Absolutely loves this stuff. This is what this bike is born to run on. Holy mackerel, 55 miles an hour. Feels unbelievable. Literally no squib, no squabble, no nothing. Gotta say one thing, daddy like. I think I'd like to take this baby down to like Baja California sewer and just rip and roll, enjoy some of the beautiful terrain God created down there, riding an iron steed. There he is, my camera guy today, following me around. One thing I do really think is cool about this bike is the turning radius is really good. One thing I really like about this bike that I was going to say is the turning radius on it's really good. Ah, you little hooligan. Yeah, the turning radius is amazing. You can turn this bike around, no problem. Really tight. Actually, I'll tell you, my Thruxton's turning radius, even though it's a smaller bike, it seemed to be take a little longer to turn. This bike seems a little bit better. Again, just like a standard dirt bike, if you've ever ridden motocross, when you get into the bumps, you run a power through it. You really want to get the front end light like this, just like that. And this bike does it perfectly. It executes it awesome. You give it some gas and you just give her some, and the front end just wants to come up. So that is a blessing when you're off-road and you're trying to soak up some of the bumps, because obviously the rear suspension is going to handle it a lot better than the front. You're not going to wash out. A little air. Unbelievable. Super smooth. Again, even on like a, I don't know, like a T100 or my old Scrambler before I changed the suspension out, those bumps would have destroyed me. I mean, this bike just loves it. It's like it was born in the dirt. And see, the beautiful thing is now I can just ride it home on the tar, and the thing behaves like a street bike. I mean, you can feel it's got a little off-road adrenaline blood pumping through its veins, but it's still very, very streetable. I mean, it's just awesome. Okay, so let me just give you my summarized summary of the summation of the events that took place today. Awesome. This bike was an excellent decision.